It's really good. On here we've got hand sanitizers everywhere, which is really good. It's really quiet as well, which is really good as well. Some storage of threads. And here is the engine room. Can't quite get the smell, but you can still smell the oil and everything, and imagine the steam. Look at the size of the borehole there. Yeah. Amazing. Down we go. Don't worry, it will be on film if I fall. These are really narrow. Oh my god, look how narrow these are.
Careful, Pat. Sideways, Pat.
Oh my god, look at that. Oh. It's not really doing that, guys. And here we are in the engine room. No, it's not, it's the boiler room. We've just been in there.
Official title, snow. But yeah, we called it the boiler room.
This is 24 feet below water.
Yes, ma'am, yeah. You're perfectly safe. You'll have 10 men working down there at any one point in time. They won't flood. 10 men. Yeah. So you've got 10 boilers down here and 40 furnaces. 4 furnaces per boiler. Can you all count to 4? Yeah. Some men down here is thick as 2 short planks of wood. So what you'll notice is an oil burning lantern. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oil burner 1, 2, 3, 4. Oil burner 1, 2, 3, 4. You can't count to 4. You can stand between 2 lights. Make it as idiot proof as possible. So I said 10 boilers, but we wouldn't have all 10 running. We did last year in 62 when we hit 17 1/5 knots, the fastest anybody's ever been on the water. But normally we only run 4. Because your tank here, that will hold about 17 tonnes of water. The best place to get a lot of water from?
Sea.
Yeah, can you drink seawater?
No.
What does it taste like?
Salt.
And that's the issue.
Yeah.
Because it corrodes it real quick. This gauge at the top here, that will tell you how full your water tank is. Because if it starts to run low, we can then repump it using a bilge pump from the sea straight into the tank, filtering out any seaweed or whatever. But it means we can fill it up when we're out to sea. But the downside is the corrosion of the salt. So we tend to run 4 boilers for about 2 months. Then got to bring 4 up to boil. Take me 3 days to get that hot enough to produce the steam we need to move. And then drop the other 4 down, open up these doors, and then the stokers climb inside, clean out all the salt and all the rust. In the stoke hold, before boilers go, and you're looking about, what, 50 degrees centigrade in the stoke hold?
That's warm.
Climb inside that, it's going to be between 60 and 70. Just can't let it cool down too quickly because the salt will solidify and it's a lot harder to scrape off. Now cleaning, that's the good day. Because one day you clean, then you stoke, then you clean, then you stoke. In terms of stoking, you'll notice bunker number 6 and number 5 behind you. We've got 8 coal boxes in total. We will hold 853 tonnes of coal at our maximum capacity. Your trimmers, working inside the coal bunkers, will bring it forward on the train track system here. From there, they will siphon it off into into one of the square boxes. She's rigged up top, filled up with coal, driven across whichever boiler you're working on. The door opens and that coal hits the floor. But I don't know if you know much about coal, but the dust from coal can ignite. So we have to keep all of our coal wet. If you're walking on the upper deck, you'll see black circles on the floor. That's a drainage system for any excess water. It'd just be run straight off onto the coal, keeping it down. But then that's cold, wet coal hitting a baking hot metal floor. What's that going to do?
Steam.
Yeah, kicks you in the face like a donkey with steam. As soon as the steam started to dissipate, you grab your mate, your spade, you draw it in at the lantern. You draw it in at the lantern, we always draw it in across here as well. Always make sure there's a walk-through, because the last thing you want is an engineer coming down and scuffing his shining his shoes. Once it's on the floor, we will then shoveling it up, filling up 1, 2, 3, 4. Each man will do about a ton of coal an hour, 4 hours on, 8 hours off, 4 hours on, 8 hours off. So by the end of my day, I've done about 8 tons of coal. Once it's inside the furnaces, that's where the fun begins, because we have to do what's called maintain the burn. I need all 4 furnaces burning at the same speed and the same temperature. That's where the tools come into play. Now this girl here, she is the heaviest. And I've got sanitizer so you can clean your hands after. You're more than welcome to feel the weight of her. All the weight's in the head. Who wants to give it a go?
Go on, Matt.
I'll get you to do it the easy way, then the hard way after. It's not bad, is it?
Yeah, because it tips.
Yeah.
Got to get it in the middle, haven't you?
So that's the easy way. Anybody else want to give it a feel?
Go on.
Oh, I couldn't do that.
And then we do it the hard way after.
There's an hard way.
Why? See, this one's used for smashing up large pieces of coal, because if you've got a big old hunky piece of coal and all the others are very small, it's going to burn slower with a lower cool temperature. So normally, it's in here. So let's do it the hard way. Pop it inside, pop on your mittens so you don't burn your hands. One hand under, one hand over, and lift it straight up in the air like that. Who's first? So as I said, one hand under, one hand over, and straight up in the air like that. Knock you off. All the way up.
Oh, I can't even move it.
There we go. Well done.
You won't be going far.
Yeah. So once it's up, we can use that to then smash up the coal. The next one over, there you go, sir. The next one over, she's used for sifting. She's really lightweight, to be honest. So that will be used to sift the coal around, keep it nice and flat, because you don't want it pulling up. And then the other two, these used for drawing. So draw that forward, any coal ash is then going to fill through the grates into the bunker. Or this one is used for the coal that's got trapped inside, you just pan it down, get all that coal ash inside here. Once it's inside here, we will siphon it off with a spade into that nice cylindrical thing behind you. The round one, that then is hoisted all the way up here to the upper deck, and that coal ash is then tipped over the side of the ship. And I'm not doing that for one, I'm doing it for 1, 2, 3, 4, whilst filling up 1, 2, 3, 4, doing a ton of coal an hour in 50-degree heat, in much lower light, with steam everywhere, in this very thin and very breathable clothing, all the while keeping an eye on the pressure gauge above my head. You should have a pressure gauge just over there as well. We work at 22 psi. You go over 22 psi, you blow the boiler out. So if you look at the pressure gauge, you'll see it's currently on 0. If you follow it up with your eyes to the 20, just after that is the red line, that's 22. Go over 22, blow the boiler. Only thing I've got to stop that happening is this blow down valve right here. Open, closed. By closing it off, if we think it's going to go over the 22, stops the pressure, stops the steam, pressure then drops. That's the only thing, that and my wits. That is why us stokers will get regular monthly medical updates with Surgeon Wells. Very well educated man on board. Educated in dentistry, ophthalmology, the foot one. We will get monthly updates, including an eye exam. If we fail our eye exam, we get a lovely new eye medicine called cocaine. Some people wonder how we do a ton of coal an hour. I think it's the cocaine, to be honest. Anybody fancy a job? Right. You get £37 a year.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money. If you worked in a coal mine, you'll be on about £22 a year. Factory work, £18. You join as you get to become an able seaman, like Richard Pollard upstairs, you're on about £29 a year. Leading seaman, 33. I start on 37. That's not bad at all. You know, an average 2-bed house, as you must know, is about £250 for that. So £37 for a man with no education is real good money. At the same time, I'll be dead by 40. So swings and roundabouts, really. The thing that kills you quickly is that heat exhaustion. So hot down here you pass out from heat exhaustion, your brain boils. That's how we lost Phillips last week. He passed out from heat exhaustion because Surgeon Wells hadn't really dealt with it before. He looked him up and down, decided the best course of action, took him to the upper deck, stripped off completely butt naked and gave him a pint of seawater to drink. He was alive before the seawater. But the thing that gets you in the long term is that black lung. All that coal dust sits inside your lungs and suffocates you from the inside out. But we do have very strict health and safety policy to make sure that doesn't happen. Yeah, I feel safer already. Definitely not dying now. That's why we got the second worst job on board this ship, let me tell you. What's the worst? Thank you for asking, sir. Being the trimmer I mentioned earlier. See, trimmers are working inside the coal bunkers in the 853 tonnes of coal. They could also suffer from heat exhaustion and heat cramps. If they pass out, nobody goes in looking for them, because if your trimmer doesn't come out at the end of his 4-hour shift, we presume him to be dead and get a new trimmer in. Because he's walking on top of that coal. As I said, 853 at maximum. If the ship suddenly lists, coal's got to go somewhere, normally on top of the trimmer. And in that instance, he hopes he's crushed to death, because if not, he's crushed half to death, and that's a slow way to go. He also goes in that much light. Seeing as how the Navy don't know much about mining, they give him a candle. For those of you that don't know much about coal, when it sits for too long, it produces methane, a high explosive gas, and he's got a candle in with him. If your trimmer isn't paying attention or doesn't know what he's doing, he can walk into a pocket of methane and become what I call pink mist. Big heavy door there, big heavy door there, both from gold worm gears. If I see, hear or smell the idea of fire, we will drop said door, suffocating the fire. And the trimmer. Are you sure you don't want a job?
It's your bathtubs.
That's what you're coffee.
No? That's your bathroom. Look, engineer's bathroom.
Why does it say that?
Above the door.
Oh yeah.
This is your washroom. So you got your washer,
Your
and
dryer.
your mangle. This is the seaman washroom. Ooh.
Special occasions.
Watertight door. You get caught in here and that just shuts on you while you're having a bath. And here is all the seamen's luggage. And that's both sides as well.
Down there again.
Yeah.
That's 244, 422, 28,
It's down there.
428.
That's all clean now. I've just been through the laundry and got all the semen stains on it.
Matron, take them away!
No, no, kids are even our way. It's not all we have our bags. That's all water.
The chains.
Right.
Chain.
Oh, that's a chain now.
The Queen.
Sulfur. Olive oil. Acetic acid.
Oh, they've got cocaine on here apparently. Okay. It's nice to see that they've got hand sanitizer in the hospital. Yeah.
I'm just waiting for a bed to be free.
Look at this.
Oh, they rock.
Yeah, they rock. Right, we're in the bow of the ship.
They rock because if the boat's rocking, then it's...
Yeah, it goes with it.
Operating table.
Chuck a bucket of water on it, drag you off.
Yeah.
Chop your leg off.
You seen the beds?
Wash your hands. Carbolic soup. You think so?
That goes on there. There you go.
Are you alright?
Somebody's just fell down the stairs. And as we come out of the Warrior lower decks, minding our head, we're on the decks. What did you reckon, Matt? Yeah?
Absolutely brilliant.
Good, isn't it?
Absolutely.
You can see all the tracks on the floor for the cannons and stuff like that, and the guns. Amazing. And that's the side of the ship. Well, there's the anchor on the side. Do you think, Alex? Yeah?
Yeah, I like being on the top here. This is my favourite boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is good. It's just massive. Obviously they can't fit the sails on now because, well, there'd be no point. But yeah, the funnels.
Still like quite a bit to see.
Yeah, this is just the first bit. Ah, the size of that rope. That's brilliant. So we'll finish off the HMS Warrior now, and we'll move on to the next section shortly, and see what else there is to see.